Arsenal have come out and given Maddison an offer that he cannot deny. Welcome to the football news top 10 and lifestyle zone. This is Rokani David AARD. Guys, you started up the live stream today of a story of Lewandowski linked to Chelsea in there, Haaland out of the way for a team which goes below Chelsea because of the so much money. And now we are back with a James Maddison story in there to Arsenal. He has been linked to Arsenal for a very, very long time in here, and a lot of stories are being really out in there, and we are going to hear lots of Maddison, Awan, Locatelli, Yossi Besuma, a lot into this period in here as we really head into the last month of the transfer window in here. Now, guys, feel free to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. But all in all, this is our channel. We always do football news from all over the world, from all walks of life. Now, today, I really want to take you through the story of Maddison Jameson from a team which goes by the name of Leicester City. He is really a very good player. He played close to 20. When you look at James Maddison's statistics in there, he played really lots of games last season in there, and James Maddison really scored a couple of goals and put up a number of assists in there. So that is a player that Arsenal is wanting, and I feel like you guys should really know something about him. Last season, James Maddison is aged 24 years. He played 31 games in the Premier League and he scored 8 goals. In the Europa League, he played 6 and scored 2. And in the FL Cup, he played 1 and scored 0 goals. He scored 10 goals in there, and he had a couple of assists in there into this season with Leicester City. So the reason as why Arsenal are leading him is that they need a number 10. And you look at Maddison, he's one of this new crop of English players that have really come up. Because when you look at the likes of Paul Scholes, who really played that number 10 role way back at the English national team and at Manchester United in there. Frank Lampard, their main aim was to score goals, and they did have the art. I remember Paul Scholes was a different player altogether because he really had the skill, but he couldn't carry that ball. As you see, Maddison is so much skill, but Paul Scholes really had a good touch, a better touch than Maddison. He really, those long balls, short, you get. But Maddison really has a skill that the modern number 10s are really having. All those players that really play into the central attacking midfield in the 4-2-3-1 system in there. He's that player that plays behind a forward now. So Maddison coming to Arsenal and being linked to Arsenal is really a very good story that is making news all over after Arsenal confirming a signing of Ben White, Lokonga and Nuno Tavares. Now they're really heading to a player who goes by the names of James Maddison in there. So I think Arsenal are really doing good in this transfer, because when you look at all the players they're bringing in, they are really good quality players, though some of them are low profile. But I think being low profile does not really take you away from being a very good player like Lokonga. Nuno Tavares coming through on his debut and scoring. He showed you what he's good at and what he can do and what can give Arsenal in the absence here of Tierney. So he's giving Tierney a chance for his position and money into the Arsenal squad in there. So Maddison, the story is really linking Arsenal to Maddison. Sorry, linking Maddison to Arsenal. Why? Arsenal have really come out and said, we are giving you an offer of the amount of money that Maddison you are not getting at Leicester City. Now, what does Maddison earn at Leicester City? I've been reading stories in here. They've told me that Maddison earns including an annual salary, he earns 5,720,000 pounds in there a week. Sorry, a year, you get. So that's what he earns in there. So, and when you look at those, if I told you convert them into weekly wages, that means if you get, all right, that means James Maddison earns 110,000 pounds a week. So Arsenal has promised to double his salary to 220,000 pounds a week. That's an offer Arsenal is giving James Maddison. And look at Arsenal and how they are ready to do their rebuild. I think when their rebuild really gets to where it's supposed to be, Arsenal is really going to be a better match team than Leicester City. Though Leicester City, ever since 2016, winning the Premier League and competing for the Premier League, finishing in top 4 positions, competing for the top 4 position for the previous 3 seasons in there, it looks like they are really having an edge ahead of Arsenal, but Arsenal is just 2-3 players away from really clinching clinching back into the competition of the top 4 spots of the Premier League in there. So I think if at all Arsenal really goes ahead and makes these signings and brings in Maddison, because they already have a Lokonga, they have a Nuno Tavares, they have a Ben White, bring in a Maddison and get a central defensive midfield, I think Arsenal will really be a very good team in there, because it was just 6 points away from clinching, from finishing into the top 4 positions of the Premier League. Now Maddison has been given an offer of £220,000 a week. Can Maddison deny this deal? Can he deny it? And when you look at Leicester City, they are really piling up players in there. They're having Asomare, they're having Ndidi. Tielemans can really replace him and play into that position very well. And the good scouting of a team which goes by the name of Leicester City, I think they've already scouted out a player who is really going to go and really replace a player who goes by the names of Maddison. Because according to this offer that Arsenal has offered Maddison, I don't see Arsenal staying. I don't see Maddison staying at Arsenal, guys, because these offers really come once in a while, and Arsenal is really a very big club. Though Leicester is doing good, but when it comes to profile, Arsenal is really a very big club across Europe. It has history with it, and we look at what Edu and Arteta are really trying to build. The rebuild is really good, if at all they really get in the players. And I was shocked, by the way, when I got to know that Arsenal has a budget of £250 million in there to spend. That means Arteta really can get in close to 6 players this summer. 3 are already in. Now they are looking at Maddison, Locatelli, Oliusi Besuma, and maybe an hour in there. So it shows you how Arsenal is busy into this market. And when you look at a player who goes by the names of James Maddison, he's really good. Though injuries have been disturbing him last summer, but I think last season he really put up one of the best performances in there, in that role. And whenever he came onto the pitch, you saw what he has. You know the skills. He's a skilled player. He's a talented player. So guys, just get to know that Arsenal are really doing great. And if at all they bring in James Maddison, it will be one of the purchases that Arsenal would have made, and some of the purchases that are really rate highly into the Premier League. Maddison is really a very good player. Those that really don't rate him, you really don't know what they call modern football right now, because Maddison into that role, he's one of the better players that played into the Premier League. He was linked to Manchester United before United got a man who goes by the name of Bruno Fernandes. Bruno, if at all Maddison was at £40 million or 50, United would have went for him. But a player who goes by the names of Bruno Fernandes was cheaper. And his numbers were way up there. So United really decided to go in for a player who goes by names of Bruno Fernandes. But Maddison was on the list for Manchester United, and he is really a good player. And when you look, I've got this statistic in there. Maddison was unlucky with his injuries last season, but performed fairly well when he played. He had 8 goals and 5 assists in 24 starts. He averaged over 3 shots per 90 minutes in there, and had 4.5 with great statistics. He's Leicester's main man asset in there. Yes, this proves that the amount of money that they've put on him shows you how much he's good. Because when you look at the transfer market value, Leicester City value Maddison at £65 million in there. So it shows you that Arsenal can really go in and get in another expensive Englishman. Because after getting Ben White at £50 million in there, they can go in and get a player who goes by names of James Maddison at £65 million in there. So Arsenal looks like they are really into Maddison, and they are in talks, and personal terms have been agreed. That's what is coming through in there between Arsenal and the team which goes by the names of between Arsenal and the player who goes by the names of James Maddison. And Maddison says, I want to go and play for Arsenal. And I think this deal is going to happen because Arsenal has the money. Arsenal, if at all they put in the bid, Leicester will accept the bid, and Leicester will sell off the player. Leicester is not a team that really retains good players. You get? You remember after winning the Premier League, if at all they are a team that really thinks that we can retain good players. Remember they won the Premier League with N'Golo Kante, Drinkwater, Riyad Mahrez in there, but all of those were sold. Leicester sold all those players. You get? They sold N'Golo Kante and Drinkwater to Chelsea. They sold Riyad Mahrez to Man City in there, provided you get them the money they want. Then later, they got a player who goes by names of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, was sold to Manchester United at 80 million pounds in there. So if at all you really get them the money that they want, they have no problem to sell you the player. So I think it's now in the hands of Arsenal to really go ahead and really break the bank, get 65 million pounds out there, pay it to Leicester, and you'll have Maddison with you into that lineup, because Arteta wants him badly and he wants him to be part of his setup this season. Thank you guys for watching in. It has been Rokani David, aka arane, to this channel, bringing you this Maddison update to Arsenal. Arsenal have really given Maddison an offer that he cannot deny, and what we are left with to here is that Arsenal, or Maddison, wants to join Arsenal anytime from now, because they've really given him a lot of money, times 2 the amount of money he earns. He earns £1,000 and £10,000 a week. Arsenal wanting to double it up to 2,000 to 20,000 to 20,000 to 20, sorry, to £220,000 a week. That's what Arsenal wants to give the lad who goes by names of James Maddison in there. So we wait to see what happens. I really want to see you guys go into the comments section and react to this story of Maddison being given an undeniable offer by a team which goes by names of Arsenal in there, as Arteta looks to do a rebuild at Arsenal in there in his second full season in there. And we wait to see who is really going to be signed next by Arsenal after Ben White, Lokonga, and Nuno Tavares. Is it James Maddison? Is it Locatelli? Is it Awa? Is it Yesu Besuma? Let's wait and see what happens in there. This is the Football News Top 10 and Lifestyle Zone. I'm out.